Right. Hopefully everything's working. Hopefully. I mean, last time we streamed, didn't go so well. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to see if I can get this to come up on my phone. Make sure it's working. Come on. Do. Come on, phone. No. Channel. No. Oh. Is it doing it again? Is it doing that thing where it just doesn't come up? I hope not. I really hope not. Okay. Let's get the link. Actually, let's get the link. Server, no. Where's the URL? Oh, here we go. So copy that. Okay. So last time it worked on Twitter, but it didn't work anywhere else. So, are you functioning? Yeah, you're functioning. Okay, so the link on Twitter functions, but if I go to the channel for a second, it appears not. Again. Oh, goodness sake. Okay, load. Go. No. Alright, this doesn't seem to be working. Much to my annoyance. I don't know why either. Like, it should work. It really should work. Okay. Let me try this. So, if I create... Oh, misclicked. There we go. Click there, please. Thank you. When I do that, and I say, let's just schedule that to come out in a bit. Publication, let's say 10 minutes. I just want to prove a point. So, if I'm proving a point, cpost, come on. Okay. So if I click that, which I'm allowed to do, why are you not following the link? Oh, you are following the link. Oh. Okay. That's weird. So that didn't happen last time. It completely failed. Well, this is interesting. So, it appears that it's not showing up on the channel, but everything else, like external links, they work. Oh. So someone on Twitter says it's a private strip. Oh. I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. Oh, Michael, you idiot. Okay, fixed it. So yeah, remember that long rant I had where I said everything doesn't work? It turns out, my fault. Completely my fault. Fuck. Goodness sake. Alright, So let's get this published. And with that save change, this should now show that there's a stream. Please. Please. Come on. Don't screw with me. Okay. Still not showing up. Right. Okay. It says it's public. It says it's public. Which means... Okay, let me go to my channel on my phone again. And, yes! 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 Hey! Fixed it! Oh, God. I am so dumb. So dumb. Oy. Right, okay. You do that, so you'll go live in like 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes. Perfect. Boom. Boom. And boom. Okay. Well, that happened. And I'm so sorry. To YouTube, actually. Because I blame them, all my software. And it was just me being an idiot. Yep, the chat works. There is somebody here. Oh, that guy. Bien sûr, bien sûr. This is going to be hitting the mic, isn't it? I've noticed that when I'm recording. Just get that off. There we go. So, hopefully, we now have a stream. And I'm so sorry that it's taken this long. I'm just stupid. I'm just really, really stupid. Okay, so I can actually publish this. So I'll put a, what do you call it, annotation, which says, you know, started, skip ahead, because I was being an idiot. Yeah, we've got people here now. Yes, you are that guy. If I sound like I'm talking weird, it's basically because headphones. So I have to have my headphones plugged into here, because if I don't, I get some horrible feedback. But that means I can hear everything I'm saying. So about half a second after I talk, it comes again in my ear, and it really throws me off. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. Might just take my earphones off. Maybe. Could I? No, I don't know. I'm thinking I could take my earphones off, put them there, but that might affect the mic, which is annoying. Yeah, we've got people here. If you're here, say hello. You're welcome in the stream. So how do we do live streams again? How do they work? Generally, it's just I try to talk about something, and then people ask questions, and I get distracted a lot. Wow, this microphone is sensitive. I actually heard myself do that. Never mind. Yeah, I had no plan. I just decided to do this. The title says impromptu. I meant it. Well, it says there's 6 watching. One of those might be me, because it always seems to register you as 1, which is weird, but that's the way it is. Yeah. Who are the other 5? Oh, 4. I know about 1 more. Never mind. So, I suppose I could do some hobby update. That would work. Yeah, that would work. So, Tau. Yeah, let's talk about Tau for a minute. Because you've seen the army up to 2,000 points, and since that update, I have bought a few things. I think I might have shown it off, or will be showing it off. No. I thought I was going to mention it in a video, but I think I deleted that version. Wasn't happy with it. So yeah, we have... Hang on. Camera. We have another squad of Pathfinders. That's the Chasseurs. done the base, haven't done the base for anyone else, which is fine. Oh, CPU, don't troll me. It just seems like the CPU just goes super high when I put that tab on, so I don't put that tab on. Oh. That was Kieran. Might see if we can get him in the stream. Well, not in the stream, but in the chat for the stream. That makes sense. So yeah, Pathfinders. I've got 8 done, 2 ready to go. They're built, ready to be painted. They're going to have Ion. So I've got 2 guys with Rail already, but I'm going to give these guys Ion, which makes sense to me, because then I have options. And I can still run 2 full squads of it. 8, which is good. And I've also got... That got stuck. Oh, that really got stuck. Yeah. I have a Devilfish. Hello, Ethal the Husky. Not sure if that's supposed to be Ethan, but hey, I don't know. So yeah, here's a Devilfish. I got the optimized Pathfinder team, which is the little box they sell you, the transport box. So I've done that, and it's really good because half price. Is it half price Devilfish or half price Pathfinders? I forget. One of the two. Hello, Trianus. Yes, I recognise you from the comments. And on top of my Pathfinders and stuff, I have got a little bit more. Have I got it out? Hang on. Yeah, I do. There we go. CPU, don't get mad. Groot. I didn't watch Groot. Very sad there's no video on your channel for the best chapter. You really need to be more specific. There's a lot of chapters. So yeah, I've got some crew. I've done 2 of them. I've built 2 more. They're looking alright. I mean, very, very brown, obviously. But I wasn't sure what to do with them. Okay, stuff this. I'm taking that off. It's too annoying to hear myself. Oh, Imperial Face. I'm getting to the Imperial Face Legion series. We'll be doing them eventually. Got a plan. Don't worry about it. Hang on. Here we go. So yeah, I've got a box recruit, I've got my Pathfinders, I've got a Devilfish to be getting on with, and I'm working on my Prospero stuff. I've actually got some Thousand Suns done. Yes, you can celebrate. You're welcome, no problem. I was going to cover all the Legions. I think I was looking at my subs, I think you're quite new here, so you may not be aware of the Legion series. There's another one in that coming out tomorrow. Yes, Kieran, hi, I did tell you I was streaming, so it's not a surprise that you found me. Ta-da, well done. And I've also done a little bit of work with some spares. So I took my Devilfish pilot, and I converted him up. Well, I say converted, I just kit bashed him a little bit. And I made a little pilot. A little Fire Sight Marksman for sniper drones. I'm going to do sniper drones, because sniper drones are cool. Have I seen the new upgrades to the Imperial Fists? Really need to be more specific, because I don't think they've got anything in 30k. I don't think there's any of them in Book 7. I've only seen Thousand Suns and Space Wars, and I know about Custodes and stuff. And I don't believe they've got anything in 40k of late, because, well, the only Marines that they've been looking at are the Ultramarines, because Gilliman. I'm sure people will have their thoughts on Gilliman. Storm Shields. Came out today, did it? Oh, right, I meant to be aware of that. Is that Forge World or GW? Somebody let me know. By the way, I'm not going to be able to put the chat on the screen. It's the one thing I wish I could do, is put the chat on the screen, mainly for the people who are watching in post. Because I know I'm not the most interesting person to look at and listen to. Oh, Forge World, thank you. But I don't really know how to put the chat on the screen. I don't think my free streaming software will actually allow me to do it. So, rip that plan. If you're wondering why it's being so loud, you may actually know. Yep. That's gone live. Beautiful. I might go and look at that on Forge World, actually. Okay, Forge World. If this crash, I'm sorry much at once, because I'm actually processing a video right now. I really, really shouldn't be, but I'm processing a video right now. Like I said, this was completely at random. Clear all filters, please. So, pre-orders? Be under pre-orders. Oh, Cataphracti with Storm Shields. That's cool. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. I dig that. Are they forced to have chain fists? No, just storm shields. Looks of it. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I rate that. And assault cannons. Yes, there are assault cannons. You can buy the storm shield separately or buy the Terminator kit, which is cool. So 54 quid for Terminator squad. Cool, blimey. Now I know why I buy Prospero and Kelth when I want to buy Heresy stuff. I'm actually building a kill team for Tau. Recommendations. I did a kill team battle report, actually. I did a kill team battle report with Kieran, and that was awesome. So you feel free to check that out and look how I built my team. I had some breachers, some pathfinders, and a crisis suit. And I had a recon drone on my pathfinder team, and I ran with that. It worked. It really did work. It was great fun to play that. But in a like competitive kill team meta where there's certain things to do, we were playing a narrative-based mission. I don't know if it would work, but look at that if you want to get an idea of how I would build a Tau kill team to be anti-infantry, because I know I was fighting against a lot of infantry. But you'll obviously want other options. Is that Ben? I think that's Ben. That is Ben. Actually, I need to mod people. I need to mod Kieran. Add mod. So Kieran's now a mod. And if that's who I think it is, then I will make you a mod as well. Just so I can keep track of if my friends are in the chat. Because I generally try and make my friends mods, just so I can keep track of them if they're in the chat. I need to apologise as well. I think I said this earlier, but people might have skipped. Yep, hi Ben. Basically, it means, Kieran, that I can see you in the chat more easily, and you technically have the ability to... Do you have the ability to ban people? Yeah, I think you have the ability to time people out if they're being spammy, but I'll sort that. So basically, it just means that I can find you more easily in the chat. Do not worry about it a thing. Go away. Go away, pop-up menu. Pop-up menu. Enable live chat. I don't need slow mode. Automatically bop spam. Oh, that's just blocking bad words. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yes, you have a new cool spanner icon. That's my way of saying I can find you. I don't know how you change moderator icons. But yeah. So, in all my research, do I believe Dawn is dead? We've got a Dawn meme underneath you saying no, but I don't know. I think they could easily Deus Ex Machina him back into the plot to make him alive again. I can hear myself again. This blooming earphones are too loud. I think he could be easily Deus Ex Machina because it's never been confirmed that he's dead. And Primarchs have literally been broken before and survived, so I think Dawn could be alive. It just depends on whether he got away or not, and I think he probably is, but I wouldn't want to be sure. Do I play any Sigmar or plan to? Yeah, I do. I've done a load of AOS videos in the past, battle reports. I did a full hobby series of AOS this time last year. Yeah, I was doing Elfin Adventure this time last year. God, that was a long time ago. Except it wasn't a long time ago in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I do play Sigmar. We haven't had much Sigmar videos for a while because I've been focusing on 40k. Get my Tau done, and now I've got my 30k, now that Book 7 has finally been announced, and I've got the rules for the Thousand Suns. I think, yes, but... oh god, I've lost train of thought. Yeah, I think Kieran is going to try and do AOS videos if he gets time, but he's got his uni work to do, and I'm building a backlog of lore. Like, I'm 2 weeks ahead on lore at the minute, so I'm just trying to stay ahead. So, yes, we do AOS, but we haven't done it for a while, and we try and do it like when we're at home over summer, over Christmas, over Easter and stuff. We'll try and get you an AOS battle report. Dawn will return and slap Gilliman, saying the current Imperium is his fault. No. The current Imperium is the state it is, not because Gilliman, I don't think. Like, Gilliman did his stuff, but the Ecclesiarchy I don't think is Gilliman's either. The Sisters of Battle came much later. Yeah, I don't think Gilliman's going to get any trouble from Dawn about the way the Imperium is, because he's been in stasis for 10,000 years, and Dawn... I don't know exactly when Dawn disappeared. Right on, thank you. Yeah, no problem. I will try and get some AOS done when I'm back home at Easter, which is in like 6 weeks. 6 weeks I think I'm back at Easter, so I'll try and get an AOS battle report then. And if Kieran gets time to do some AOS stuff, he will do so. Would you be willing to Road Rash style Cult of Speed video game form was developed? Grammar? Sorry, I can be a bit of a grammar Nazi sometimes. Would I be willing to Road Rash style Cult of Speed video? There's a verb missing there somewhere. Would I like? I don't know what Road Rash is, or maybe it's Road Rage and it's auto-corrected. But I like the idea of a Cult of Speed video game, a racing game, kinda... Mario Kart's a terrible example, but more of a grim, dark Mario Kart almost. Would I be willing to play? Would I be willing to play it? If I could get my hands on it and it wouldn't break my student bank, then yeah, sure. But I'm sure if it comes out, no need to apologise as well. I just pick up on things and have very bad understanding of basic English if I skip stuff. So, yeah, I would like a Cult of Speed video game, but I want more Cult of Speed models and rules before that happens, because one has to happen, really. Gilman broke up the Imperium set of the High Lords. The High Lords already existed, they were just known as the Council of Terror back then, same principle. Gilman broke up the Legion as Astartes, not the Imperium, just to be correct. Dawn disappeared in 31. We don't know when Gilman disappeared, but Dawn probably did disappear first. Okay, fair enough. There will be AOS for me 100%, but it needs to be... Okay, thank you, Kieran. Yeah, Kieran is working on his AOS. He's just got to get it painted, and then he will have his content, which is great. Like tacticas and updates and stuff. And I'm sure he will talk about that. We've tried a couple of times to just get this started before, and we've always had trouble getting it off the ground because constraints and time and things have come up. But we'll do what we can. No problem for the heads up. Always try and be as transparent as I can with what's going on content-wise. Like I've always said, if things are going wrong, then things go wrong. Isn't Mario Kart already pretty grim dark? Look at how many families and friendships the game destroyed. IRL, maybe. Invasive. Yes, I've been meaning to email you again, sorry. I'll check that my mail app's kind of closed at the minute because it'll probably crash my CPU because it's already overloaded to flip at the minute. Please process. Anyway. Confirmed problem. We don't know if Dawn killed Alfarius. We think Dawn killed Alfarius, but it could have been Omegon. But yeah, I think it is confirmed to be Alfarius, maybe. No worries. Yeah, fair enough. Road Rash was a 1990s era video. 1990s. Yeah, of course I wasn't going to know. I was born in 96. Involved violent motorcycle race. Yep, that's the Cult of Speed in a nutshell. And I'd love that if you play it as like a narrative campaign and then the final boss is a race against Wazdaka Gutsmech and the Bike of the Apocalypse. That would be hilarious. Or maybe even have a bonus like DLC where you race in the arenas of Komara against like some, I don't know, any legendary Reaver pilots, and then you have a final boss who's like Jaghatai Khan. No, that's not canon. I very much doubt that's canon if Jaghatai's racing in the way where he's probably dead by this point. We'll see. I've got a White Scars video in the works for all the Legion videos. Actually, are in the works. So actually, spoiler alert: White Scars tomorrow. People guessed it anyway because I dropped a pretty big hint in the Freebooters video. But yeah, White Scars tomorrow. You can look forward to that. Okay, close. Yes, okay, I think it's a celebration of my idea of the Jaghatai Khan Komara DLC. I hate Komara, by the way. I really don't like Komara and the Dark Eldar. I think they are my least favourite race, even more than Slanesh. Yeah, they could do something fun with that. And Gangs of Komara, I haven't actually played it, but it looked kind of fun. I haven't actually seen much of it at all, but it did look kind of cool. Let me just check my emails. Has that not come through? Oh, that's come through. Beautiful. Next Wednesday. Okay, I'll respond to that in full once the stream's done. So yeah, we've got 10 people in here. This is about an average stream, which is kind of cool. Considering I'm streaming at 5:10 UK, and like at US times, it's like really early in the morning. I'm kind of surprised that people are here. Like, it's okay, it's lunchtime on the East Coast. It's lunchtime on the East Coast, I suppose. But hey, here we go. This is the way it is. This is the part where I need the chat. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll talk about. Some of you may know this if you follow me on Twitter. If you don't, links in the... Do I play 30... Actually, yeah, let's... not too early, eating lunch, awesome. Do I play 30k? Yes, actually, that reminds me. Sorry, I'm very dramatic when it comes to stretching. Hang on. Actually, let me put my light on. Yeah, I have a front lamp for this reason. Thousand Suns. I play Thousand Suns. Screw you all. Magnus for the win. This is actually my present from Kieran for Christmas. It's a Legion Standard Bearer, and it's sexy as hell. The banner itself is freehand, everything else looks pretty terrible. And I've got a champion as well with a power sword, like drawing from his belt, which is kind of a cool model. Right. We have nothing better to do while at work, and your voice is soothing. I think is a little bit overkill. I mean, I don't have quite the sultry British tones of a David Attenborough, but I'll take the compliment. It's 11 o'clock in the Midwest. Yeah, 6 hour gap. Yeah, that's about right. Any stretch worth stretching is dramatic. Just don't perils with that Legion, otherwise their rules are amazing. Yeah, I've had a look at the Book 7 rules, actually. I don't have them open now because I closed it just to try and reduce the strain on my CPU while I was streaming. And they do look good. They do look good and fun. Anyone not cursing is soothing. Yeah, I keep my... some people don't like the fact that I keep my language clean, but yeah. The fumes of Barbarous will... Oh yeah, Kieran plays Death Guard. Consider yourself forewarned. Yeah. Do you think we'll see other Primarchs or just a few? I think we will see Johnson again. I think we'll see Mortarion, Angron and Fulgrim, Perturabo, and by that token you can easily bring Dawn back. You could bring Russ back. Russ has to come back. Korax could come back, but I doubt it. I've done a video actually on the return of the lore of this Primarchs. It was way back ago, before I really knew the lore, but yeah, I did a video on the return of the lore of this Primarchs and what I think is the case. And I think I said Gilliman, Johnson, Dawn, Russ, Korax were the main five in that contract. And you could swap Korax for Khan if you wanted to. And then you have basically the 5 demon ones, and then not Lorgar, because Lorgar's been meditating for 10,000 years. The other 5 actually get stuff done. Which Primarch am I most excited for, bar Magnus? Depends on the context, 30k or 40k. Mortarion is his own adoptive father. Hello to Romulus. Yeah, actually, I recognise that name. Yep. It's cool when I'm starting to recognise names from the comments. That's always nice. Yeah, I'll talk about that thing in a little bit, but I think we've got some questions to field, so I'll field them first. After Magnus, I think Dawn and Sanguinius will come next. No, I don't think so. I genuinely think Sanguinius is going to be last. Like, I think I've had this discussion with Kieran before. I really think Sanguinius is going to be last because... you know, Siege of Terror. Korax will return with his own set of mutant wings. If he goes rogue, yes. Have I read Fall of Cadia? No. Haven't got the money to go and buy Gathering Storm 1, 2 and 3. I know what happens in Fall of Cadia. I watched Alexis's summary of it, and the fact that, well, we're so up on the lore as a community means that I have to know, so I sort of know what's going on. Is Continental Drift a thing in 40k Earth? If it is, it's probably still not making that much of a difference. Terra, I don't know how fast Continental Drift is, but I suspect it won't be too bad. I reckon Terra will still be roughly how it is, except I think it's run out of... Oh, I forget exactly how Terra is. I feel like it's got no water left. That's to import its water and stuff. I forget all the details. I'm sure someone could go and remind me. Dawn's book will be Finding Sanguinius and the Emperor. Dawn's book? I really need to be more specific there. Do you mean like if he gets a book like Gilliman's getting for 40k? I don't know. Yeah, like I said before, I think Sanguinius will be the last one. Dawn will be close to last, just because they don't really show up for a while. Like, Dawn doesn't really show up until the Siege of Terror. 2.5 centimeters a year. Okay. Okay, so we're in 2000 now. 2000, let's call it 2000 now because that's easier. 38,000 times 2.5 is 380,000 over 4 is 9,500. So that's a grand total of 9 kilometers. 9 kilometers. Okay, 9 kilometers. That's bad. 1 kilometer? Oh. I can't do mathematics. I'm working in meters. Sorry. Yeah, about 1 rounds up to about... Okay, I don't trust my own mathematics now. Hang on. Yeah. I've been listening to so much Stevie Wonder the last couple of days. It's really bad. Right. So, 2.5 times 38,000 makes 95,000 centimeters. Divide that by a total of 100 to get it from centimeters to meters. Yeah, about 1 kilometer. Sorry. And I call myself a physics student. Terrible at on the... I should be really good at on-the-fly mathematics. I'm really bad at on-the-fly. I'm good at mental maths. I just goofed. If Sanguinius returns, it'll probably be a warp creature like that. No! No, 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 no. Don't bring Sanguinius back. Don't bring Sanguinius back. Please. He's dead. Leave it. It's like Clone Horus. It's like Clone Horus. No. No. Get rid of it. Burn it. Burn it with fire. I don't want Sanguinius back. Sanguinius is amazing, but the entire point of the Blood Angels revolves around the fact that Sanguinius is dead. The Black Rage and the Red Thirst and all that stuff revolves around Sanguinius. And if Sanguinius suddenly isn't dead, then it completely defeats the point of the Black Rage, and then the Death Company doesn't work, and breaks the fluff. And they'll have to take the Black Rage out of the game, pretty much. Almost. So, no, don't bring Sanguinius back. Would he be a war creature like Celestine Legion of the Damned if he did? Yes, probably, but no. Sanguinius returns after the Sanguinor gets put in an easy bay coven. I prefer he stay. Yeah, I think he should stay dead. I've talked about who the Sanguinor is before. I think it's actually Azkaellon. If it isn't Azkaellon, it could be a part of Sanguinius' soul, or both. We don't really know who the Sanguinor is, but it could be fun. But pour warp goo into the Sanguinor doesn't really work. Oy. Just stating the only path of return that makes him want. Yeah, that's fair. I understand where you're coming from. It's just like I think I've seen a rumor about the return of Sanguinius one time. And I'm just like, no. So wouldn't restoring Sanguinius be a great way to cripple the Blood Angels' success? Yes and no. Yes, in that they lose a lot of their combat prowess because they lose, a lot of the Red Thirst and the Black Rage especially, and the Red Thirst. Maybe they can find a way to fix it. But it means that they don't lose numbers to the Black Rage, and that means they have more ready-to-fight Battle Brothers. It saves chapters like the Flesh Terrors from going extinct. It would be good and bad. It's more good than bad, honestly. It's more good than bad. Like, any Primarch coming back is good for that Primarch's Legion and chapter. Yeah, but they gain a Sanguinius, precisely. If you want to say pros and cons, it's better to have Sanguinius back than not, but from a fluff standpoint, no. Opinion on Demon Pert. As in, how would Demon Perturabo work? Actually, I just need to make you a mod, sorry. How would Demon Perturabo work? I'm going to actually see if there's a description of Perturabo as a Demon Prince. I'm genuinely curious now as to whether he was ever given a description. History. I'm using the wiki. I feel bad. I shouldn't feel bad. The wiki's fine. I prefer Lexicana, but the wiki's fine. We talked about that on the podcast. Into the eye. Right, here we go. No, that's the Apotheosis of Fulgrim. Sorry, that's Andros Donatus. Here we go. This is... traits? No. Not traits. Personality? Definitely not. Wargear? No. There's no description on Demon Perturabo, which is a shame. I reckon he'd have some pretty cool appearance. Giant Obliterator? I'm not sure. I'm thinking almost he'd be more akin to a giant armoured demon engine, almost. He's mechanically bonded with technology at this point. Like, he was closer to the Mechanicum and the Dark Mechanicum, so... I think Giant Obliterator, no, because he probably has his preferences of Wargear. I definitely don't think he'll fly, though. I don't think he'll have wings. He'll definitely be probably on foot. Does any current chapter still have all the implants? You mean all the implants that go into making a Space Marine? Yes, I assume so. I think there's only a few that lack a few. Hellbrute. No, Hellbrutes are reserved for mad Marines get shoved in a Dreadnought. The way Hellbrutes work is different to Dreadnoughts, I think. Yeah, the Ultramarines. I assume the Ultramarines will have all the implants. Yeah, a Hellbrute, I think, is less about saving a dying warrior, and sometimes it's about containing them. I forget exactly. I'm going to go and look, actually, about Dreadnoughts. How do Chaos Dreadnoughts work? Or Hellbrutes, to be more specific. Dreadnoughts. You're a Dreadnought. Okay. May mean any of these things. Hellbrute. Here we go. Hellbrute. Oh, they're just corrupted Dreadnoughts. Considered a great misfortune to be entombed within a Hellbrute. Completely psychotic. and then they're melded with their prison, creeping insanity. Between battles, they're disconnected and dragged clear to lie inert. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, not a Hellbrute, because the Hellbrute's a really bad thing. Speculation on Gathering Storm 4. Apparently there isn't one. Apparently Gathering Storm 3 is the last one. If there is a Gathering Storm 4, it will basically be the Battle of Terramark 2, I like to think. But it depends on what they want to do. If they want to end it at Gathering Storm 3. Oh, only in form, sorry. Looking like it, maybe. But definitely something tough and tanky would fit. Yeah, Gathering Storm 4, if there is one. If they decide to keep pushing the Black Crusade, then obviously Gathering Storm has to end in a victory for Abaddon, which means you get the Battle of Terramark 2, or something of that equivalent, and then all sorts of crazy stuff back. As for if there is going to be one, I don't think so, because I'd like to think that they'll go down the route of doing something badass with Abaddon. There's rumours that Abaddon's going to die, and I think that would probably be a cooler route to go down. Yeah, the lighting was definitely a good choice. Demon Pert is probably the size of a Warhound Titan, fused with the bulk of his custom equipment. Fused with the Logos and the Tormentor. Maybe. I mean, Demon Princes being that large is not unheard of. Probably unlikely to be that big. You're probably thinking more in the region of an Imperial Knight would probably be a better place to aim. Because like Demon Magnus is huge, but he could change his form on a whim. So I thought they said Gathering Storm would have stuff for every faction. Am I mistaken? You may not be. I didn't see that quote myself, although I heard talk of that quote. But if they do, then they've got a lot of races to get through. Like, they've done 2 Imperial ones, for crying out loud. 2! I didn't even do the Imperial Guard. Sigh. But yeah, like, a Tau one would be awesome. The Eldar have kind of got theirs as a race. Necrons would have to get one. Demons would have to get one. Yeah, like, it'd be really cool stuff if it's done, but I don't think they're going to do a full set, and they're probably better off just branching off into new series, like Trajanus is suggesting, that it becomes another series where they focus on other stuff. But the thing is, the Tau have had theirs quite recently. They had Montcart and Cao Yon, and while they got no new models, they got a huge lore leap forward. And that actually opened up a new video that I've got coming out on Monday. I've actually got a Tau video coming out on Monday where I get to talk about some of that stuff. So I don't really know what they're going to do. It'd be nice if every race got a triumvirate and all of that, but I don't know if it's going to happen, at least not in the short term. It would be cool if it did, but I honestly don't know. Wow, we've been streaming for half an hour. That happened fast. I should be doing Wave Optics work right now. Yay, more Tau. Hey, somebody likes Tau. Win. Yeah, I really should be doing some Wave Optics right now, but I finished Solid State homework, so I can let myself get away with it for once. And I'll do my lab report this evening. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. I always have a lot of work to do, but I thought, I'm not podcasting this week. Podcast is every other week, so let's try and stream. Is there any law stating when the Astartes started utilizing force weapons for the Librarius? Well, they had them in the Heresy. The 1,000 Suns in 30k can take force weapons. So, exactly when? Don't know. But they have been using them for a very long time. I can tell you that much. Let's go back, actually, let's go to Librarian Dreadnought, because that should talk about force weapon. Right, bingo. Dreadnought force weapon. Force weapon. Does it talk about history? No, it doesn't talk about history, unfortunately. I'm afraid I can't help you on that one. What just crashed? Okay, that crashed. That's fine. So yeah, it's definitely pre-heresy, but I couldn't say any more than that. Are you done yet? No, go away. As long as this doesn't crash, it's fine. Nope, not crashed. Good. Yeah, sorry if you're getting a serious lag. I'm getting serious lag on my video playback, so it could be that it's really lagging for you, and if it is, then I apologise. But hey, we'll see what happens. I'm getting occasional really bad lag, and I know the image quality is terrible because I've got to stream this in 240p to stop it killing my PC. Anyway, that's my problem, not yours. Right, we've got a quiet moment. So, this is something I was going to talk about earlier, and I got interrupted by questions. Okay, bid's good. Glad to hear it. some of you may know this if you follow me on Twitter. Like I say, links in the description. I had one of my videos stolen the other week. Not the other week, the other day. About four days ago, I had my Is the Emperor a Chaos God video with Remlays stolen. Someone took it, downloaded it, and then uploaded it as their own. They didn't edit it at all. It still had all of my titles. It was my title, just with the brackets removed. Or basically all the punctuation removed. And it still had my title card, my outro card, and it was me talking. I introduced myself as Michael from Tactical Imperialist, like I do in every video. And they just tried to copy it off as their own. I would never have found it. Remlays found it, and he drew it to my attention, and I had to submit a copyright claim to get it taken down. Yeah, I know about that. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. I had to learn how to do takedowns and copyright infringement claims, which was fun. But it's sorted now. I got an email today saying it's been taken down. The content's been removed. They proved it's mine, and it's gone. So yeah, that was sorted. But yeah, if you ever do come across like content from a YouTuber that you think's been stolen, always flag it to them. Whether it's me or somebody else, always flag it. Just because it's just allowing some people to profit off of that YouTuber's hard work, and well, that's not really fair, is it? If you want to make it on this platform, you do it yourself. You either join a network and you work with other people, or you just make your own content. And I definitely think that people can just profit off of other people, and I think that's just wrong. So if you do ever find a video that's, will I do videos on AOS? Answered this earlier, the Swarm Lord. Oh, I recognise you as well. You never shut up in the comments on my lore videos. Yeah, we will be doing videos on AOS. Kieran is basically getting his stuff painted, and when he's got time, yes. Punctuation removed so it was low to a level of intelligence that they couldn't understand. It was a debate that was so divisive, and trust me, it really was divisive. People still arguing in its comments to this day. Yeah, they stole it. Will I do videos on AOS? Yes, I will. Or I won't. Kieran will be doing videos on AOS, and there'll be a battle report, I'm sure, at Easter or in summer, definitely. Congratulations for the win. Thank you. Don't need to congratulate me. I basically learned how to send a copyright notice. Love you too. Oh, Swarmlord. Well, somebody's got to do it. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to mock people for role-playing in comments, because quite frankly, I'm role-playing in my lore series. If you could have one unit that's not currently on the tabletop, what would it be? Oh my god, there are so many units. Give Asa. I want my human mercs on my Tau. Because I sold my guard army, but I wish I hadn't, because I could have it back now and use it. Then again, I traded it for basically a green tide, so kind of fair. How did an Triumvirate work? New model for a one-eye, probably. Some new big killing machine, beast, and maybe a new Death Leaper, the Parasite Mortrex, maybe? Oh, Forge World do give us. Yeah, they do, I suppose, but I think also in rules terms, they don't have them in the Tau Codex. Like, if you want to use them, you have to ally in Forge World stuff, and I don't like allying Forge World stuff, because it makes the game more complicated, so I would quite like them to be in the Tau Codex. If you want something that's completely out of the game, ooh, I don't know. I honestly don't know the other armies enough. The guy that sends silly ideas on Facebook. I don't get silly ideas on Facebook. I get suggestions, which I always appreciate. You haven't really been doing much on your Facebook page. Yeah, I know. Like the Facebook page basically isn't like what I use the Facebook page for is basically as a place to like keep my videos logged in one place and get comment suggestions, content ideas. I don't really know what to do with it. Like my Twitter, it's easier for me to just talk on Twitter to people because that's where most of my friends on YouTube are, and I can easily engage with them faster there. Battle Barge in the game, too big. Battlefleet Gothic size. But yeah, I don't really do enough on Facebook, but I don't really know what I would do because like I've got my suggestion box and I share my hobby stuff there, but other than that, I don't really know what I need to do with it. Right. Yep, fair enough, you got to go, that's fine. I don't know if there'll be a stream in the near future. Basically, this was completely impromptu between podcasting and going to the SU. That definitely takes up my time. The one about Kato Sicarius being cyclically being manipulated, that has never shown up. I've never seen that. I mean, it's nonsense, probably, but I've not seen that. Sorry for sharing my videos. Hopefully you're not upset with the content. Oh, right. Oh, I think I know what you're on about. I think it's fine. Like, it's fine. I don't mind. It's just like that page is what I use for my stuff. It's not like a Spiky Bits page where they just share a bunch of random stuff. It's basically a place for me to put my content out there, and if I need to put a PSA that's too long for Twitter, then I'll put it there. If I want to do like a poll or something, I can put it there. But yeah, it's no problem. If that's what you do, that's what you do. It's not. And the other thing is, they don't really. The way it works is that they don't get shared on the page. They go into like visitor posts. At least when I look at my Facebook page, it goes into something called visitor posts. So it doesn't just clog up the page. If you just want to find my stuff, it's just there. I think I forget exactly how it works. But anyway, it's not a problem. Yeah. Oh, my mind's gone blank. Oops. Love this stuff. How big is my novel collection? Not big enough. I don't have time to read enough. I haven't even taken up one window ledge with it, realistically. So, honestly, my novel collection is not very big, and that's why I have to use Lexicanum a lot as my research source. Who are the biggest threats to the Imperium? Necrons, Tyranids, or Chaos? Probably Tyranids. Because, like, Chaos can't win in the long run. Like, Chaos can beat the Imperium, but then the gods possibly they'll die as a result because there's not enough humans. I've done a video about that yonks ago. So I think Tyranids are the greatest threat, although the Necrons are also extremely dangerous. Chaos are extremely dangerous, yeah. Could someone explain why the hell Chaos lost Dreads when we got Hellbrute? It seems like a stupid change for a unit no one uses anymore. Well, was anyone using Chaos Dreadnoughts before? It was a lore change, really. Like, they behave almost exactly the same way. It's just a minor lore change. Chaos won in Fantasy. Yeah, they did. Chaos won in Fantasy. But when they won it, they had to reset the universe and we got Age of Sigmar. Love it or loathe it, we got Age of Sigmar. The Chaos Drive was a bad model and he wanted something more demony for the new sculpt. Yeah, that's probably a good reason. I mean, the Chaos Hellbrute does look decent, to be fair. Thank you for the response and what you did. No problem. Any advice for someone who's thinking of starting to collect models? The GW bundles are great. Make a plan as best you can so you know what you're doing. You're not just buying on a whim. Although if you want to buy on a whim and just get random models, go for it. Any thoughts on Dawn of War 3? Haven't seen enough of the trailers. Interesting art style. It's more about how it plays though, so we'll see. Demon is one thing that looks like a tumour with guns. See Chaos Spawn? Yeah, you do use Hellbrutes, Ben. I know you do. But when people run Chaos competitively, I doubt Hellbrutes come up if Chaos is run competitively, because now with Traitor Legions and Magnus, I think they can be run pseudo-competitively anyway. I think Magnus is just bonkers from what I've heard. What do you think possession is? Well, technically, the Hellbrutes aren't possessed. The warp just melds the pilot with the machine. I actually just look... Hiccups. I actually just looked that up. Yeah. So that's how that works. I get distracted too easily. I keep looking over my models like I should be painting them, but I shouldn't be painting them because I need to focus on this, and if I just start painting, then I'll just completely stop paying attention to the chat, and then the stream just completely devolves from there. Magnus becomes a bullet magnet that throws... Yeah, Magnus just looks like absolute nonsense. Like, toughness 7, loads of wounds, stupid good invuln that's easy to buff. He does look really, really good. Due to the unlimited amount of minor Chaos gods, why not see chapters devoted to them? Seems to be a safer route to demon. Probably because those gods aren't powerful enough. Do you think Robert will unite his legion? No, because he split them up in the first place. Like, the entire point of the Codex Astartes was that Gilliman didn't want a man to lead the legions again. So, no is the answer to the question. Plus, some of them won't want him back. Right, banner bearer, you get out of here, please. Yeah, there's actually a bit of a delay. There's more of a delay on this than I thought, because I didn't put a stream delay on. Surprised that it's taking so long for it to catch up. Like, at the time I was sitting down, I was just standing up on the screen. Okay, never mind. Random observation. Still trying to get used to this whole streaming malarkey. So, I tried to live stream for a while. I was hoping to like live stream every other week, like on the non-podcast weeks, kind of like this, but changed my mind. Are the soul drinkers totally wiped out? Don't know. Probably not. But could be. If they wanted the soul drinkers to be completely dead, they'd have probably written them to death in their books and said they died to the last man. Don't really know enough about them. What armies do I least like facing in 40k? Genestealer cults, because they hard counter my Tau. Because Genestealer cults are just my hard counter, like full army of infiltrate that counters my army of deep strike that they teleport across the board. No, that's not fun. Oh, it's fun for the Genestealer cult player. I get the feeling I'm going to hate facing highly psychic armies like Eldar and Magnus, just because I don't have the defense against them. But I'll get by. I'll get by. I get the feeling like the more maneuverable armies will probably be more annoying for me. Like static armies, I'll just blow away and outmaneuver. Top 3 codices: Eldar, Tau, Space Marines, I think. Maybe not in that order, but I think it's Eldar, Tau, Space Marines as a codex. I mean, there are things that are extremely good, like Traitor Legions. Why is it the White Scar's Primarch suspected of becoming a traitor? He isn't. Nobody thought Jagtai was a traitor. Horus thought he would go traitor, but Khan never planned to turn traitor, as far as I could tell. Like, he wanted to get all his facts straight before he actually revealed his side, but he pretty much said from the off, I'm not going to follow Horus's orders and kill Demon Russ. And then he fought against Mortarion, because Mortarion tried to turn him, and the Alpha Legion fired on him instead of turning him. So yeah, no, I don't think he even is suspected of being a traitor. Why does Demon Madness have nipple horns? Because reasons. Honestly don't know. I assume it maybe was just something on his armor design in 30k. When we get his 30k model, I'll be able to corroborate that. Or it could just be a Zinj thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it, but I suppose it gives a bit of more 3D to Magnus. I suppose it gives him a bit more 3D of a look to him, I suppose. I keep having thoughts about doing something and then not doing it, and it's random. Because it's cold on February. Karen, you disappoint me. In Gathering Storm 2, a few thousand suns were freed from Iron's spell. Do you think the same thing? If we're being technical, they weren't freed from the rubric. Ivrain basically ran their time back. So she basically put them in a thing and just said, right, I'm going to reverse everything. Could the same happen to the Emperor? In theory, if Ivrain got close enough to the Golden Throne and didn't just try and stuff it up, then yes, but probably not. What's your thoughts on Gork and Mork being gods to the Orcs? How do they fit in with the other Chaos gods? Gork and Mork are a weird entity, really. Like, the Orcs are weird. They don't fit with the rest of the idea of the warp. Like, they don't really harness the warp, they just harness War energy. So, honestly, Gork and Mork not fitting in with Chaos Gods is completely fine, because, well, they're not really supposed to. Do I think it'll happen, the healing the Emperor thing? It could. It could. They really could go down that route and bring the Emperor back, but I think since the Terminus Decree is established canon, they'll probably want to do it that way, rather than just, let's just magic him back to life. I mean, he's a lot more powerful than the Thousand Suns as a psyker and as a person. Do you think there are any old ones alive? Maybe. Not impossible. Probably if there are, they're very, very few and they're very, very weak at this point. It could be, but I don't really think there really are any doing anything of note. They may not even be in the galaxy at this point. They might have just left, just been like peace and peace the scene. Screw it. An Eldar Imperial Alliance has to have until it makes sense that the Eldar say the Emperor, but I think it's also explained, or it's mentioned, that they needed to give the humans a leader, and they chose Gilliman. Like, I think Yvraine doesn't have the power to heal the Emperor, perhaps. Like, they chose to heal Gilliman as opposed to the Emperor, so maybe that's why. Did the old ones create the Tyranids to wipe the galaxy clean of chaos? If they did, then they overcooked it, because they're going to wipe the galaxy clean of everything. The Emperor can't be brought back to the fact of him being for something for warp travel. Yes, he is extremely important because he's powering the Astronomicon. Astronomicon? Not sure. He is so important for that, but he was doing that while he was alive, and him just being alive again and being able to command from there would be fine. What am I working on painting? Hang on, let me just get the screen up. 1,000 Sun. I'm just working on getting through the Burning of Prospero set, which I've had for absolutely ages I need to do. Didn't the Tyranids originate from another galaxy? Yes, they were drawn here by the Pharos Beacon in the Heresy, so that means I don't think they were created by the old ones. I mean, they could have been. I mean, given the traits that they have and all of that stuff, it's not impossible. But I think the Tyranids are just an extra galactic force and nothing to do with the old ones whatsoever. Do you think Gazgul's final war will be against Tuska Demon Killer? I don't know what they're going to do with Tuska. If they decide to bring Tuska into the game, then sure, stick him up against Gazgul, but sure. How many Space Wolves are left? Not many, is the answer. I don't know how many exactly, because I haven't actually read Wrath of Magnus, and I don't think they even gave an exact number, but not a lot compared to the entire side of the chapter. Void Dragons, I haven't honestly looked. Like, I've got a plan for this entire Legion series, and all the things that go in between. I've kind of made the plan at this point. And getting enough information to make one video on that topic, it's really difficult to find. Like, a general look at creatures of the warp might work, but I don't really fancy going back through the warp again. Not right now. I'm not going to rule out doing it, but it's one of those. It's like I've got a lot of suggestions and a lot of ideas already, and some of them fit with the plans I've already got. So, no promises. Maybe we'll see. If I were to play a lawyer this chapter, who would I play? I like the Raven Guard's playstyle. Lightning Claws, Stealth, Jump Packs. I like the Blood Angels, though. I do like the Blood Angels to some extent. Blood Angels or Raven Guard. Maybe even one of the sub-chapters of those, like Flesh Terrors or something. I don't know. Angels in Carmine, I don't know. Which was the strongest Legion? You really need to be more specific. In terms of largest, it was the Ultramarines. In terms of most worlds conquered, it was the Sons of Horus. In terms of winning a straight one-on-one fight, well, every Astartes was supposedly created equal, and in a straight one-on-one fight, it'd be hard to knock back someone like a World Eater or a Space Wolf. Even more emo Night Lord? No. The Thousand Suns are not emo Night Lords. Buzz off. Not a chance. Oh, hello. What are you? Oh, this is an email. Sorry, hang on. Oh, this is just telling me again. Yeah, that's the same email. Oh, that explains that. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, Raven Guard. Okay, good. Not taking the mickey out of my blooming Thousand Suns. Don't take the mickey out of my Thousand Suns. Why aren't nukes used in 40k? They probably are, for exterminatus purposes. I mean, Vulcan got nuked. Vulcan got nuked by the Iron Warriors, so they do get used. Yes, hello to Garahath. That's cool. Good to see you here. Nukes are used, but not a lot anymore. that's a discussion about Tusker. I don't really know about Tusker. You want nukes when you have a ship that can blow up planets. You don't generally use them in exterminators. You use like virus bombs or cyclonic torpedoes these days, and they don't use them in battle, assumedly, because it's too destructive. I mean, I say that they use vortex warheads on their Death Strike missiles sometimes. I think maybe, are they illegal? I don't know. They might be. I mean, I know the Iron Warriors used them, but that was back in the Heresy, so don't know. Maybe they are. I'm not sure. Funny. Space Marine action figures. I very much doubt, like, a good chunk of the Imperium don't even know that Space Marines exist, I'd wager. Like, obviously, for propaganda purposes, stop yawning, they're useful, but generally, I think the Angels of Death have this mysticism about them, and so everyone just having action figures, and also if you want to sell action figures, then they have to have something for them to fight. And that would mean introducing Xenos and Orcs that aren't supposed to exist. Was St. Celestine nuked? I don't know, actually. I don't remember seeing her get nuked. That's something to do with warp dust. I don't really know what warp dust is either. I think it's just a phrase. You need to stop yawning. I'm sorry, guys. All Space Marines versus all Imperial Guard and Navy who went Space Marines. Missing info on return of Primarchs. Do we know which Primarchs return after Gilliman? No. I'm waiting it'll be another traitor, or it'll be Johnson. Apparently the ones used on Krieg were... Oh, maybe certain grades of nukes are illegal. Although I thought they used more biological weapons on Krieg rather than... no, it would have been nukes. Look at the aesthetic of them, Michael, come on. After Gilliman, we don't know who's going to come back. I suspect we will get... Warp Dust in Fantasy? Warp Stone was used in Fantasy. I don't know about Warp Dust. But yeah, Johnson, I expect, will come back, and I think we'll also probably get Angron back in the not-too-distant future. Best Imperial Guard regiment, for me, I like Katachan, Mordian, Krieg, and Volstroya. The type I'd like to play is probably something like, what do you call it? Mordian, because they're my style, or Volstroya, but I do like the look of the Death Corps or something. Thorgrim was mentioned in Fracture BL-Tarn, so I'm betting him as next. Maybe. The thing is, like, it was so tied to the Eldar, and Slanesh being tied together is so important. I think it's... it could be Thorgrim. It really could be Thorgrim. But I personally prefer Angron to be next, because, well, Angron's cooler. Is Magnus evil? No. Not in my opinion. He certainly wasn't when he turned, and he was forced to fall. If he is now, hard to know. Yeah, hashtag Magnus did nothing wrong. What's your thoughts on the next chapter to be killed off, with so many sub-chapters being brought to 50? I honestly don't know. Like, they could kill off any chapter if they wanted to. Skaven Sorcerers snorted warp dust like cocaine. No, sure they did. Yeah, actually, you might be right. Do you think 40k is going to try and kill off a Chaos God? No. No way. Particularly, well, they might. They really might actually try and kill Slanesh off here. But if they were going to do it, they'd have done it in BL-Tarn. Like, made it the Rana Dandra and just killed off Slanesh, but they didn't. Do I have a favourite Xenos beside Farsight? Yeah, Orcs. Specifically, Wazdaka. Yeah, I'm cold, by the way. Yeah, Wazdaka. Do I think Hope Lorgar will get off his ass and do something? Yeah, I'd like Lorgar to get off his ass and do something, because it means we get more badass. And the Word Bearers have not got much love on the tabletop. I mean, I don't know what they're like in Traitor Legions, but... Mine just messed everything up. Sort of? Sort of. I'm going to say sort of. Will I stop yawning? For crying out loud. I'm sorry, guys. I really should stop yawning. Do you think we'll see the Men of Iron? No, probably not. I think the Men of Iron are just like old lore at this point, and they just want them out of existence. I think, actually, no. The Men of Iron popped up, I think, in Gaunt's Ghosts or something. Maybe. Maybe not. But I don't think they'll actually get onto the tabletop, no. I really don't. Not even at the command of a Perturabo or something like that. I really don't think we'll see the Men of Iron on tabletop. In lore, maybe. On tabletop, no. Yeah, I really need to wash that marine. Screw it. Yeah, I know, really professional, but I want to get this marine washed because it's bothering me. Favorite points for games? I like to play at 2K because that's what my army's spec'd for, but I'm quite happy playing at most sizes as long as I can get enough cool stuff in. 1850 works, but I kind of prefer 2K because it's a bit more of a round number as well, and it allows me to get my full Farsight bomb in. Do I play Kings of War? No, I don't. I actually don't play any non-GW games, I'll be honest. I played most of the GW games at one point or another, but I've not actually played none of the non-GW games. When did I start playing Warhammer? When I was 12. 11 or 12, I think I got first introduced to GW. I started playing when I was 12. I started collecting, I think, just before my 12th birthday. So, nearly 9 years ago. Flipping heck. Yeah, so I've been playing for a fair old whack now. Good story, actually. Any games outside GW that I want to play, this is basically Kieran canvassing me for ideas of things he wants to buy. Dreadball looks kind of fun. Dead Zone looks kind of fun. The problem is, like, I'm so invested in the lore of things now that I'd kind of want to see the backstory and how it all fits together. But maybe. Like, I'm not going to say I'll try anything once, but, well, if you want to give it a go, then, well, maybe. The White Scar free vehicle list, the best Space Marine list. Any Space Marine army can do the free vehicles thing if they take the I think it's 2 demi companies. You get the free transport. Someone feels to let me know. But White Scars are particularly good because they get their biker stars and all of that stuff. Do you think it's a second Battle of Terror that Minus will show up to save the day just as a final insult to Lehman Russ? I don't think they'll actually make Magnus a good guy. I really wish they would, like, do some sort of change. Oh, that will save my CPU so much. Oh, look at that CPU usage. Yeah. They might bring Magnus back to do that, but I don't think they will, just because they like the way this configuration of, like, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys, and suddenly doing plot twist, these are the loyalists and these are the traitors now. Will probably annoy a good number of people. Yeah, it's like, hang on, I signed up for my Thousand Sons to be Chaos Space Marines, I don't want them to be loyalist. Yeah. Plus the Imperium wouldn't have them back anyway, because Demon. Talked about that before. I said they basically have to put up with Demon form, and that's not going to happen. It's the Imperium. Why does the Imperial Guard use las guns instead of solid shotguns? Probably because it's cheaper. Because that's basically the way the Imperial Guard works, is if it's cheap, it works. Favorite games on Steam? I don't actually use Steam. I basically don't get time to play computer games. Literally, the last video game I played was like 12 months ago. I went back and played a little bit of Fallout New Vegas on PS3. I've not actually used Steam or PC games at all. I mean, if I had time and money and a good PC for playing PC games, then maybe, but I'm on a Mac, so that's not going to happen in a hurry. So, yeah. Solid shotguns would probably be better for the Guard, yes, but I think it's cheaper for them to produce las guns than it is, because las guns technically never run out of ammo, because you can just leave them out in the sun and they recharge. Do you recall the Raptor subchapter of the Ravens? Whatever happened to them? Do you mean the Raven Guard? Just clarify that for me a sec. Are there any Thunder Warriors alive? Not that we know of. There were some Thunder Warriors around in the Great Crusade because the World Eaters had to kill some of them in a prison. But I don't know about them being around nowadays. The Karkaridans are thought of as being, some say, loyalist Night Lords, actually. Some say the Karkaridans are descended from the Night Lords. I don't know. Will the Necrons get biotransference? I'd like them to. I think it would be a fun aesthetic, but then it changes the lore of the Necrons again, and I don't think that they'll be able to get biotransference back, because that would just change the plot too much. Yeah, the Raven Guard, okay. I don't know enough about them, honestly. I don't know of this chapter of the Raptors. When I get to the Raven Guard as a Legion, maybe I'll get some free time while I'm researching them. I will try and find out a little bit about this chapter, or if I cover the Karkaridans at some time. I don't know if I'll cover the Karkaridans. I might do. But they're suspected to be Loyalist Night Lord as much as anything else. If Thunder Warriors are much more powerful than the Space Marines, then why did the Emperor kill them? Because he couldn't control them, I think? No. It was because the Thunder Warriors were just killers, and he needed more than that. He needed more than just simple killing machines, is what the Thunder Warriors were. Instability, yeah, it could have been instability actually. I forget all the details as to why the Thunder Warriors were put down, but that was it, yeah. Favorite good and bad Primarch, favorite loyalist, favorite traitor. Favorite traitor, Magnus by a mile. Favorite loyalist, I think it's Sanguinius these days. Yeah, I think it's Sanguinius. I like Sanguinius a lot. Although, as I keep in the Legion series, I keep thinking, oh, this Primarch's quite cool, and maybe not so cool. Okay. Look, I heard the thing being Loyalist Night Lord isn't actually confirmed canon. It's just a theory. And no, I'm not saying it either. I know Remlays doesn't say it, and I won't say it either. That's just about done. There we go. 1-0 oil wash, and now I feel better. Minor OCD, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I've been listening to too much of that style of music of late. Get New Vegas and install the Warhammer 40k total conversion mod. I've seen bits of 40k stuff in Fallout New Vegas. Like I saw like an Imperial Guard armor mod, but I haven't seen a full conversion. And then Fallout 4 has the power armor and bolter mod. But that's cool. I might look into that, just as a look. Is Caldrogo a Primarch? No. No. He was just an initiate to the Grey Knights who became a plot device. Who is my favourite Black Library writer? I don't really have a favourite writer. Like, I don't really, like, say, oh, I have to buy this person's books. Like, my favourite books, I like the Macarius series, which I think was... Oh, who wrote the Macarius? It was King. I like the Mechanicus series, which was Graham McNeil. There's quite a lot of good writers. James Swallow did the Blood Angel stuff is quite good. Honestly, there's a lot of good writers. I like Phil Kelly. Phil Kelly's cool. He's wrote some really good lore in the past. If I had a limitless budget, what themed army would I create? Oh, God. You know, basically my taste in an army goes basically on what lores grab me the most. So, like, if I had a limitless budget and time, I'd probably try and get all the Primarchs and just create the Great Crusade in an army. So I'd have a small army of the Emperor leading to Sturdays and Constantine Valdor, and then I'd have a detachment of Sisters of Silence with any character they get in Prospero, and then I'd have the Primarch leading, each Primarch leading, let's say, a 2,000 point army from their legion, like in their Rites of War. So like Magnus and Ahriman in their Sekhmet Cabal, Terminators, and all of that stuff, and yeah, something like that would be amazing. A full Enclaves army, obviously, I'm working towards that now. A full Imperial Guard regiment, a full Space Marine chapter. There are so many options. Honestly, you could do almost anything, and I don't really have a I like the idea of like close assault and stuff, but oh, that's gonna go back. Maybe. Caldrogo killed a Bloodthirster without weapons, but Sanguinius struggled killing Commander. Oh, Caldrogo's a plot device, and Sanguinius has killed Commander at the end of 2 fights. He lost on Cygnus Prime, but he basically killed it during the Siege of Terra, and then went and fought Horus. So, let's be honest. 1,000 Sun became the founder of the... There were... Yes, technically. Revulavida did... he was Janus, fused with Magnus's soul, in a way. Yeah, so... Yes, that is correct, but there were 8 founders of the Grey Knights. Arvida, Felzerost, I know this list. Severian, Felzerost, Revulavida. I'm working on isolating who these 8 are throughout my Legion series. I swear I've come across at least one more. Oh, Talos Rubio, Epimetheus, yeah. I don't get that reference, sorry. Have to admit, GW wrote itself into a corner with the Golden Throne. Emperor can't leave and can't die unless Minor takes his place. Grimdark, never ending. That's the point. They don't want that. That's supposed to be the way it is. They can't take the Emperor off the Golden Throne because he dies, and then the universe, and then the Imperium dies. So like, it's supposed to be this perpetual hell that the Imperium's in. Like, yes, they wrote themselves into a corner, but they wrote it there deliberately. Oops. Flash, go away. Sorry, I'm trying to explain to people why I'm busy at the minute. Why don't the Space Marines use strike fighters? They technically, their gunships kind of are strike fighters in a way, lacking in their inventory. Maybe. The demons got into the Dark Eldar home. Is it possible to break in the Imperial Palace but still be pushed back? The reason they got into the Comora is because King's Gate broke, and breaking into the Imperial Palace would mean defeating the Custodes and Sisters of Silence and everyone else who's fighting in the Webway Gate. Could they break in? Yes. Would they have to do it? Would they sneak in? No. Because they're all stuck at that gate. Why can't Blood Angels use Storm Talons? Because they didn't exist when the Blood Angels Codex was written. Simple as that. That's the basic reason. Because they didn't exist when they wrote the Blood Angels Codex. And now they're taking the mick out of the chat. Hold on, guys. You just became the joke of a physics chat. So you just said it, unless they're right, Canon again or Magnus Manning up. Oh, Magnus manning up would mean Magnus going back to the Imperium, and that's never going to happen. Well, it could. Will Araman ever get into the Black Library? Maybe. Probably not. And if he did, oh god, all hell would break loose. He'd probably become like more powerful than any of the Primarchs. Or he'd certainly be more powerful psychically than any of the other Primarchs, because, you know, I know everything. He'd be like trying to be like on the level with the gods themselves. After Cade, the Sisters of Silence will reveal that this solution to the problem, but are they really that game changing? The Sisters of Silence, were they on Cadia? The Sisters of Silence were in Fall of Cadia? No, I don't think they were. I mean, the Sisters of Silence are a solution to many problems when it involves demons and psychers, but not all problems. Are they really that game changing? Hard to know. Depends on how they're used. Oh, hang on. Now we've got confusion. I just need to wash my gold paint. How do they teleport onto the Imperial Fist Space Fortress? Oh, the Phalanx. Because Be'lakor. Oh, the High Lords were sending them. Well, they were too slow because Cadia died. With that said, would he choose Godhood or save his Legion? That refers to Ahriman. Would Ahriman save his Legion or not? That depends on how highly you think of Ahriman. I personally think he would try and undo the rubric, but he might not know. And Ed, I'm not asking the stream that, for God's sake. What happened to the Phalanx? I think they actually won. I forget. Sorry, physics friends. Yeah, what happened to the Phalanx? I don't honestly know. I think they just teleported away from Terra to prevent them from bombarding Terra. Whether they won, I don't actually know, because I think they've done that plotline twice now. In the original version, I think Honshu lost, but I don't really know what's the situation. I'd have to go and find out more about Fall of Cadia. I figured the pilots for the fighter craft were Space Marine strike cruisers and battle barges were made up of aspirants who passed the physical tests but were found genetically incompatible. Generally, a lot of the failed aspirants become serfs of the chapter. At least this is the case with like some of the chapters. Like, oops, I just moved the camera. Like the Crimson Fist had a lot of serfs that were like failed aspirants who were just like not good enough. They're either not good enough to receive the thing. I don't know. Oh god, one of my physics friends wants to come in the chat now. Hang on. Oh, this is going to be absolutely hilarious. He would save his legion. He dove into the warp, pursuing Restored Thousand Suns. No, the Restored Thousand Suns died, didn't they? I forget. Yeah, there may be a physics person coming into the chat to ask a very weird question. Can the Necrons choose to destroy everyone in an instant with the celestial thing they have? The Orrery, I think it's called. In theory, yes, but they wouldn't, because like the Orrery has to be managed in a certain way to stop things going wrong. And by going wrong, I mean literally certain stars have to blow up on schedule, and it's basically a tracker that they can like use a manual override, so that they have to they protect it. Now that Papa Smurf is back, do you think any more Primarchs will come back? Yes. Johnson, Sanguine. No, not Sanguine. Is what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Really? You're asking how? I can't explain everything. You can work that out. They fell off a bridge and he flew after them on his disc. Maybe. Sorry, let me go back to that. Primarchs coming back. I think it is Johnson, Fulgrim, Angron, Portarian, Pert, Khan, Dawn, all options. Why wouldn't they pop Suns in Key Imperial Citizens? Because there could also be Tomb Worlds there, and because they don't care. Probably. Who came first, Be'lakor or Doombreed? Ha. We don't know. This is a beautiful thing. We don't know. Like, if Be'lakor is blessed by all 4 Chaos Gods, then Doombreed came first, because Khorne came first. If Be'lakor... Be'lakor's weird. I think the logical, if you follow everything through, Doombreed came first. But Be'lakor is stated as being the first Demon Prince, so that's a bit of a oxymoronic statement, given everything is powered by all the Chaos Gods, and yet Doombreed... Oh, it's confusing. Doombreed is the thing, if you follow the all the conclusions that the lore gives, it's more likely to be Doombreed, but there is one piece of evidence that says it's Be'lakor, which is saying he was the first Demon Prince of all, which makes no goddamn sense. Oh, Shed. Oh my god. Yeah. Hi, Ed. Who elevated Doombreed? Khorne. Khorne did it. Yes, one of my physics friends is in the chat because I sent a picture of the stream to say that I was streaming, and they spotted something in the chat, and now they decided to raid me. I'm being raided by physicists. This is bad. Okay, far away. Oh, this is so weird. Maybe one day I'll have the physics guys on and they'll just sit behind me and we'll have a really crazy stream where they just chat nonsense at each other. That will be a very sweary stream, I suspect. And yeah, I know, I probably shouldn't be saying this because Ed's in the chat. Never mind. I think people should... Not answering that. Be'lakor always and never existed. Yeah, because the Chaos Gods always and never existed. That's how it works. Ed, go away. Please. You're corrupting this stream with Slaneshiness, and it's bad. How do you think Be'lakor escaped the reigns of all four Chaos Gods? Because he got too powerful. Basically, when Be'lakor was created, he was the most powerful of all Demon Princes because there were no other Demon Princes. And the gods realized that Be'lakor was too powerful, and because he was created by all of them, he could sort of play off all of them and mess with them. So they created other Chaos Gods to try and weaken Be'lakor. So that's how he was never bound to the Chaos Gods in particular, because he could just play them off against each other. Now it stated that Doombreed was elevated before... What? Where is that stated? Can you give me a link for that, please? Can you actually give me a piece of evidence with a page number so that I can actually check that? Because that seems wrong. That just seems wrong to me, that Doombreed came before Khorne when it's specific. I'm going to check this now. No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Right. I can't believe I'm having an argument here. Right, here we go. One of the first of Khorne's servants. There we go. And references for that: Chaos Space Marines Codex 2nd and 4th edition. Responsible for genocide and murder on a grand scale, such wanton carnage drawing the eye of the god Khorne, still relatively young, who granted the warlord the ultimate reward of demonhood. Okay, bye Ed. Yeah. Enjoy your trip to Cambridge. Are you too late to the party? No. The stream's still going. Probably going to go for another half an hour. Have I had the chance to listen to the audio drama Ahriman First Prince? No, I haven't. I've read the Ahriman books. So I've read Exile, Sorcerer, and Unchanged, but I haven't had a chance to do the audio dramas. No, I generally haven't actually looked at any of the audio dramas. God, that was a weird interaction. Hey. This is the part where I come up with something interesting today. The Chaos Libericania. What? The what now? The Liber Chaotica? The Liber Chaotica talks about the Crusades of Doombreed and Talamin. Who's Talamin? The Prince of Demon Princes. Okay. Yeah, it's but I've never heard of that. Oh, Ahriman punks Be'lakor. Yeah, I've heard about that. Ahriman tricked Be'lakor into getting the soul of Catasius, the sorcerer who read out Doombreed's true name. One on Khorne will be back with page... that needs to be finished. Khan audio dramas are also... I bet they are. Winning a fight between Typhus, Khan, Lucius and Ahriman. Unfortunately, I have it hard to argue with Lucius, because Lucius is immortal. Almost immortal. If you have nothing to talk about, is there only one hive mind that controls all Tyranids, or do different hive fleets have their own hive mind? Now, actually, I was under the illusion that there was only one hive mind, but since the last episode of the podcast, I talked with Alexis, and she said, actually, that Tyranid hive fleets will fight each other for food and stuff. So, actually, maybe there are multiple hive minds. I don't honestly know. I was under the illusion that there was only one. If my Tau Avatar had a force weapon, which would he use for close combat? Sword. Elegant. I mean, come on, flipping sword. I mean, I'm working for the Farsight Enclaves. It makes sense to have a sword because, you know, it fits with the Dawnblade. Axes are too unwieldy, and staff. Really? Am I an ethereal now? No. Sword. All the way sword. Although, force mace could be fun, but Tau aren't really strong enough to be swinging a mace properly. Khan could technically kill Lucius, couldn't he? Yes. He doesn't take pride in his kills. He does. It's not mechanical. Khan's kills are not mechanical. They're bloodthirsty as hell. I suspect defeating a worthy opponent, it'll probably have a small recognition of satisfaction. You were right. I thought I might have been. No worries for getting that wrong. It's fine. It happens. Yeah, oh, thanks, Ed. After the podcast, I did try to search everything we know about the hive mind. None of the things that I found said that each hive has their own mind, but neither says there is only one. Yeah, we don't really know. Didn't some kind of Raven Guard almost permanently kill Lucius? This was before Lucius became Lucius the Eternal. But yes, what's his face? Nakona Sharokin almost killed Lucius, and only Fabius Bile kept him alive. And he said it gave him no pleasure, so I think that was what set the conditions for Lucius being immortal. What should be changed to make Chaos competitive? I don't play competitively, but probably a good number of things. Starting off with, can we have more? I think their basic troops need a general points drop to match up with regular Space Marines, because I think Chaos Marines are now more expensive than regular Marines. And they just generally need a across the board buff, I think, at this point. Oh god. In the end of the audio, Armin releases Be'lakor if he answers one question. What would be Be'lakor? What no, that Alaman wanted that bad. It could be getting into the Black Library. I don't know. It could be how to undo the rubric or get into the Black Library. It could be either of them. Just joined. What did I miss? A lot of people talking at me. Me explaining a couple of things. A little bit of hobby. Not much. Do you have any hints for a new player who just had his first match yesterday? Yeah, don't cheat. Don't cheat. And just experiment with stuff and try and find something good. Like, it depends on what you want from the game. If you want to be competitive, then you're really asking the wrong person. If you want to have fun, then there are loads of different things you could try. Could a Norn Queen be turned to Chaos? Probably not. Would my avatar wield it? Yeah, of course they would. I mean, come on, Dawnblade style. What do you think of Reboot having the Emperor's sword? It's cool. Not. Oh god, we're triggering his cheat rant again. No. I've had my rant now. Don't need to do it again. Reboot having the Emperor's sword is cool. I think it's a really cool idea, and it makes I can justify why he's got it in a lore sense, as though like, oh, he just took it with him when he went back to Ultramar. Because he was Lord Commander of the Imperium, but I want to see the justification in Gathering Storm 3 before I get any conclusions on that. Do I think Cypher will be taken to Terra after Gathering Storm 3? It depends on what they decide to do with the plot. If they want to kill Abaddon, then maybe, but they might decide to kill the Fallen Angel, so they've got many options. What is the coolest conversion I've seen? I remember seeing a conversion where someone built the inside of a Stomper. So, behind me, I don't know how well you'll see it, there's a poster of the internal workings of a Stomper, not Stomperer, one way on the right, and someone actually made that as a conversion, and it won like a golden demon. It was amazing, so that was one of my favourites, and the Nightbringer Sanguinius conversion was pretty cool as well. Also, my camera's over on this side of the screen, that's why I'm looking over there. Emperor had multiple swords, I'm sure each son had one. No, I don't think they did. Because Horus had Worldbreaker, which was made by the Emperor, which is technically the Emperor's weapon, but it was a mace, not a sword. With the release of Cypher, would you like to see actual Fallen models? Yes, that would be cool. But they're basically just like a mix of Space Marines with like bit part armor. Do you think Reboot's going to be pissed when he gets back to his Legion? Depends on what they decide to tell him. And what he thinks of. To be fair, they followed the Codex Astartes pretty much to the letter, so I don't think he's going to be too annoyed. And did you notice he was standing beside Cypher? Yeah, Cypher and Gilliman are working together, basically out of convenience. Like, Cypher said, I will work with Gilliman as long as you take me to Terra when it's all done. So yeah, that's basically the case. So yeah, it doesn't like Cypher because he's got Lion's Sword, but yeah. Dawn versus Papa Smurf in a fist fight, who would win? Take away their weapons, I think Gilliman wins. I think. Do you think there'll be an end times of 40k? No, there is no end times of 40k. It's not a thing. GW confirmed it's not a thing. Stop talking about the idea of it because it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It's not happening. That would be a rant. If happening guys in Gathering Storm 3, who would you like to see as War Master? Honsu or Huron or Lorgar? Huron, Honsu, Lorgar, in that order. Huron would be the coolest, Honsu is the most obvious, and Lorgar because, well, he's tried getting everybody else involved to do it and failed, and now he's decided, stuff it, I'm going to do it myself. Seems like everything will go to bleep. Everything always goes to bleep. It's the 40k universe. Have you not learned this by now? I stop clicking that one. Realistically, the Imperium shouldn't be able to survive all that. Well, of course not. That's the point. The Imperium is like 1 second to midnight all the time. That's the point. Will the Imperium survive? Depends on what they decide to do. Don't know. Honestly, don't know if the Imperium will survive, but it probably will. Particularly if Cypher shoots Abaddon in the face and he dies. Will you stop singing? I really need to get out of that habit. I've really got into a bad habit recently of just singing and whistling to myself all the time, like even more than usual all the time. Oy. Oh, fair enough. I guess you must be leaving. Fair enough. The next video will be out tomorrow. I've already spoiled what it is at the start of the stream, so when this goes out in the VOD, people can just watch that. But to be fair, by the time this stream VOD goes out, we'll be getting pretty close to launch time anyway. So, yeah, fair enough. Have a good one. Ta-da. We've kept a 15-man chat. That's pretty good. Or 15-person chat. I need to be more specific. I need to be correct with my pronunciation. Thank you. Can try and keep up the work. Uni will try and screw me the entire way, but I'll do my best. You're finished. Molto bene. Stop singing, Michael. No, wrong way. Yep, that's where I want to be. If it makes you feel better, I know someone who basically sings everything. Yeah, like I'm fine at not singing everything, but like if I'm on my own and I'm not doing anything or I'm bored, I'm just like, if I put my music on, I'm just like tapping and whistling along all the time. The Necrons are the ultimate counter to Tyranids, yet you think they would lose. Necrons v Tyranids is a weird one because like the Tyranids obviously can't consume living metal properly. I don't know if they can consume it at all, but they can't consume it properly. That's for sure. And so it's a weird dynamic that the two of them have, because Tyranids have been known to like avoid tumors. If the entire galaxy was Necron, then yeah, the Tyranids would starve to death. But they're not the ultimate counter in the battlefield sense. Like if the two of them did fight, I think the Tyranids could probably win, but it's just that they avoid each other. Would you consider playing in a tournament now you're to have a win streak? A win streak? I won 2 games. 2 games. Calm down. Calm down, dear. It's only a oh my god, that adds ancient. Would I consider going to a tournament? Probably not. Like, getting involved at GW is one thing, and playing the odd game at GW, then that's fine. But I'd never get into a tournament, no, because in a tournament setting I have to go up against actual proper lists and use actual proper tactics, and that's never going to fly. They were in choir. Fair enough. I mean, I played in a band, but I was playing a musical instrument. I wasn't actually singing. Do you think there will be a Gathering Storm Silent King? I want the Silent King. Okay. I don't know if we're in Gathering Storm, but I want the Silent King because the Silent King is cool. I like Cesare quite a lot. Is it Cesare or Cesarek? I forget right now, but I do like him. Yeah, fair enough. How go the Thousand Suns? I've painted 15 plus Armament, 2 Terminators, and a couple of Legion Commanders that I got for Christmas. So they're going alright. They're going alright. As for, yeah, do I want a Silent King book? Yes. Will it be Gathering Storm? I don't know, because I think Gathering Storm 3 is supposedly the last one in the set. They just wanted to be a trio, which makes sense, a triumvirate of books with a triumvirate of models in each. That's the beginning of the St. Ives riddle, isn't it? Except with 3 instead of 7. It's a nice pun, that one. Fun with Die Hard 3, I think I saw it. Yeah, Die Hard 3. Or Die Hard with a Vengeance, I think is his actual name. It was basically Die Hard 3. But yeah, the Thousand Suns are going fine. Slowly getting there. I've got 2 more Marines on my painting station. I've painted the arms of both of them, and I've just washed the armour of one of them. This will be number 16 or 17, hang on. 1, 2, oh no, this will be 15. I can't do mathematics. This will be number 15. So I've almost done half of the Tactical Marines, and almost done half the Terminators, and I've done Armament. I'm not going to do the Custodes and the Sister Silence and Gygor, what's his face. Did the Emperor have any romance? They say he did, actually. They say the Emperor actually had kids, like biological kids, the Sensei. I don't know if that's actually true, or if that's still canon, or what, but I know the Sensei used to be a thing, and so they were supposedly the Emperor's biological children, so maybe, don't know. Honestly, don't know. I love the physics, guys. It's okay, you're a physicist, not a mathematician. What's that in reference to? Oh, basically I was looking over my shoulder, over my desk. I couldn't see fully if how many were there. And physics is very mathsy, trust me. My physics is all very much about maths. There's a little bit of applied stuff, but like I'm doing a lot of quantum mechanics and electromagnetism is calculation. Well, technically it's wave optics and solid state physics now, and thermal statistical physics is going to be quite probability based. It's not really as physical as you'd think. Thermal's quite physical, but statistical's quite mathematical. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I'm going to start this hard. I bought a new layer brush. Brought another layer brush because, quite frankly, my other one was going to hell. So I bought a new one. Those were all just words. Yeah, sorry, you do English, don't you? Since warp storms are popping all over the galaxy, do you think Tau is starting to learn about demons? They do know about, well, Farsight knows about demons. Well, actually, the Tau do know about demons, but they don't know what demons are. So like when they've ever fought demons, they just assume they were just weird aliens. Like when they went to Arthas Malok, basically they treated the demons of Khorne and Tzeentch as the Molochites. That's what they were known as. The Xenos of Arthas Malok. That's how they were known. So is it about time? Yeah, definitely. Are they? Don't know. We haven't really had enough lore on the Tau that goes away from just the whole Farsight saga to know. What happened to the Iron Hands? Be more specific. I just bought Codex Supplement Trait Allegiance and found that Terminators can be fielded as troops. I know you value mobility, but what about a force that primarily uses them? Basically, you're playing Death Guard at that point, and while it might work, maneuverable armies will literally just take a dump on them, because you'll never be able to engage them, unless you do like a deep strike bomb, but even then, you could just get outmaneuvered and mishap and not turn up and stuff. So, Terminator troops is good, because it means that you actually can get a proper solid core if you don't like basic Marines. They were attacked. They've been attacked a lot of times. You really need to be more specific here. The Iron Hands were attacked on Istvan 5. They lost their Primarch. They were attacked in many campaigns, both in 30 and 40k. You just be more specific. Oh, he's playing great. It could also be Grey Knights, yeah. Well, yeah, the Death Guard were known for their Terminators, but the Grey Knights also, yeah, that's true. By 10,000 tanks. The Battle of Talon had a lot of tanks, but I don't remember that engagement. I honestly don't. Sorry, can't help you on that one. Actually, the Battle of Talon wasn't Iron Hands because there were way too many units committed for it to be Iron Hands, because the Iron Hands were basically shattered at that point. Boom, 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 boom. The answer is probably yeah. Yeah, if the Iron Hands had gone extinct, we'd know about it. That we'd have been notified. Like the destruction of a first founding chapter, I think we'd have been notified by now. Yeah, I always find that weird that the first founding is the legions and the second founding is the Codex Astartes. I'm surprised they didn't start. I should know I'm working on about 2,500 points. Oh, that will be for Tau. No, that will be for Grey Knight, sorry. That's a Shrek meme. That's not funny. I basically don't find... that's just a meme. I don't really subscribe to memes. I know, I'm boring, but I don't subscribe to the memes. It's probably the reason that people don't decide to make me and all that into a meme or fan fiction on fucking 4chan or whatever. Because I'm so boring that there's nothing for them to talk about. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, painting streams would probably be quite... if you have enough of a chat, I suppose a painting stream could be interesting. But yeah, just like looking down at work on your models all the time, probably not that entertaining. 10,000... That's even more stupid. The sun is an astrophysical body made of superheated hydrogen plasma. You can't physically beat it in a fight. So you just got to wait 5 billion years for the thing to explode. Well, no, sorry, to explode, expand. Yeah, expand is more accurate. And it expands to a red giant, and then it will eventually shrink and cool and become a white dwarf. And yeah, that's a fun little touch. But yeah, the sun is going to become a white dwarf. Thank you, astrophysics, for explaining the life cycle of stars to me. Avenging Prospero one space puppy at a time. Yeah, I'm quite happy to see the Space Wolves go kapow. 40k is a meme by now. There are elements of 40k that have been memed, like basically anything that TTS touches gets memed, but I generally try and keep it as, real, and I love TTS. TTS is amazing, but as far as me and my content goes, I try and keep it to canon. So I try and steer away from all the memes of the community that often get spawned. Well, unless I'm deliberately playing for it. Is this just going to be a Make Michael sigh in sadness? No. We've been going for, what is it, an hour and 40 minutes? Yeah, it's an hour and 40 after you consider my 7 minutes of screwing around and realising that I'd had the stream set on private instead of public like an idiot. No, it's not that. Yep. Did I just get... No, it's fine. I thought I got some red on silver there. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up in 10 or 15 minutes or so. So if people have got anything else to say... Oh, sorry, Connor. Yeah, you've just joined and I've only not got that long left to go because I've been going for a while now. So if people have got anything to add or to ask, then go for it now. And I usually use this time as here is your chance to suggest content. I mean, I have my content suggestion box. If one character that doesn't have a model could get one, who would you want it to be? Oh my goodness me. Lady Malice. Lady Malice. I'll go with Lady Malice. So yeah, last 10 or 15 minutes, if you've got any last few questions or suggestions, then by all means, this is the time to get them in there. Whilst I just paint this marine. Oh, and for people who, the idea of content suggestions, I remember this. The entire Legion series is spawned from a stream. It was the stream suggested that I do like Argel Tal and Erebus and Gorfaron and Sortalgren, actually. And that led to me wanting to do a video on the Word Bearers, and that led to the entire Legion series that is now taking up so much of my life. Okay. Have the Imperial Fists ever won? Yes. See the Iron Cage, which is technically their victory. And they also defeated, I think Lysander and the Sentinels of Terror did win a fight as well. I can't remember the name of said fight off the top of my head right now. Will Medusa be attacked again? Probably, if they want to. Other than Magnus, what are my plans going for with 30k? I have absolutely no idea. Basically, with Thousand Suns literally just being done for book 7, I'm kind of just working out how they're going to go and what models they're going to get. So when I finish Prospero, and I get Magnus, because, you know, Magnus, I'm probably considering going for Calth, because that gets me a Dreadnought, it gets me a bunch more Marines, it gets me a few more Terminators, and buying them separately is ludicrously expensive. Although I don't need any more characters. So I might just buy the Cataphracti Terminators and a box of Mark IV, and that gives me 40 Marines, including some vets, 2 squads of Termies, Ahriman, a small command squad. And then from there, what from there? Not sure. Probably just have a look through the books and see what looks cool. And then probably a Breacher team. I'm almost certainly probably going to get a Breacher squad because the Sporting Shields are cool. Do Alpha Legion. I'm doing the Alpha Legion. Yes, I'm doing the Alpha Legion because, you know, Legion's miniseries. I'll try and move the Alpha Legion up the queue a little bit. Since Janus had a piece of Magnus' soul, do you think it's safe to say the Thousand Sons are their progenitor? No. Because the Grey Knights were formed from Space Marines of all stripes. And it's said that they're the Emperor's gene seed. So yeah, I don't think it's from the Thousand Sons. Just because Revulavida was Janus, I don't think it actually matters as to who anyone else was. Will the dead Primarchs return back from Horus? No, because they're dead, that's the point. So yeah, we're not having Sanguinius back, we're not having Kurz back, and who else is dead? Manus. Yeah, we're not getting Manus back either. Favourite pattern of armour? Ooh. I like Mark 3, I've been doing a lot of work on Mark 3, Mark 3's cool. Mark 6, I do like Mark 6. Probably Mark 3 or Mark 4 or Mark 6. Probably 3 or 6. Only £10 cheaper than buying Calth anyway, so not much point in buying them separate. Okay, fair point. I'll probably just get Calth then. Epic Battles videos. Explain. Hello, War Master Painting. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to be like wrapping up in 10 minutes. Sorry. I'm sure you'll be able to catch most of this on the VOD, but I'm sorry you come so late to the chat. Which is a shame. But you're here now. You may as well take the chance while you're here. Get involved. Whilst I just keep talking and ranting randomly, because, you know, that's what I do. That's the Indiana Jones theme tune. Stop it. Big battles from the... Oh, basically just doing like battle... Now, I've talked about this before. Doing battle lore is actually really hard. Because basically trying to cover a battle without just basically regurgitating what a lore book says, like a novel, is kind of hard. Like trying to put it in a different spin, unless you actually read that book, like all the books around it. So like you've read Galaxy in Flames and False Gods and all the build up for Isfahan 3 and Isfahan 5 when you do Fulgrim. I think it's really hard to do a battles video unless you've actually done the entire thing. Yeah, you can talk about Talon or Calth or Prospero, and I'm talking about them when I do my Legions miniseries. Like I talked about the Battle of Calth. I'm going to be talking when I do the Thousand Sons of the Space Wolves about the Scouring of Prospero. I've talked about the Shadow Crusade a little bit. I've talked about X, Y, and Z battle as I've gone along, but I haven't done a full thing dedicated to them. I mean, for example, there's the Red Corsair video where I did the Badab War, and that took me a while to cover the Badab War, but I didn't want to do the whole Badab War in depth, because good god, that would have taken ages. What happens when you collapse 2 power fists together? Don't know, don't really want to know. I understand what you mean about doing focus videos on them, but the problem is unless you've literally read the books, or are just copy-pasting the wiki, then it's very hard to get enough detail to make it work and make a full long video about it. I prefer to focus on groups and individuals, because you get more broad scope on things. Thank you, Tamposta, I think that's how that's pronounced, for your support. I appreciate that. Why did the Imperium lose their jet bikes and other new tech from 30k into 40k? Because they lost the STCs, I believe. Do I miss fantasy? Yes and no. Like, I love the setting of fantasy, but at the same time the game was clunky and slow, and AOS has a lot of appeal as a game. As a game, I think I prefer AOS to fantasy. Although fantasy has a lot of things going for it, and I do like a lot of its aspects and stuff, like the rankings and the magic, and that was really cool. As a setting, I definitely miss fantasy as a setting, because AOS just doesn't have enough lore behind it to make it a good enough setting for me. Do I play Total War? I explained earlier I don't play any PC games. So no, I would play Total War Warhammer if I had it, but I don't. Has the sound been alright, by the way? Because obviously my mic's been down here. There's probably getting some interference the entire time, which is not good. It seems alright volume, I think. I mean, to be fair, at this point I'm wrapping up the stream. I should have asked this like an hour and a half ago. But yeah, no. Yeah, no. Just get that set again. Okay, it's good. Good. So what do I need to do on you? I need to do the gold. Basically, I just need to do the gold and that's done. Do you think that over time AOS's lore will get better? It has to. The more you put into the lore, then it basically just gets better and better and better and better and better. Because the more stories that are there, the more people can have fun with it, create custom characters, create theories, and all that great stuff that we love to do with 40k, we can start to do with AOS. And it's the same thing that's happening with 30k. Like, people would have said, oh, like, 30k is not got much lore right now, it's kind of boring. But then you talk about it more, and you start developing it more, and it becomes more and more fun. Why does Huron have Veteran of the Long War when he wasn't in the Heresy? Because, assumedly, he's been around for a while, and he's probably very good right now. I don't know why exactly he does. Maybe just because they wanted all the Chaos HQs to have it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, actually, no. No, I'm not sure. On the podcast, you mentioned possibly doing an RPG, like Dark Crusade. If you guys do, I'd suggest using Roll20. Is that a piece of software, or is that a game? Let me know. I started playing fantasy a few weeks before end times. RIP. Well, to be fair, depending on the faction, you might have actually benefited from it. So if you're doing like Khorne, then you actually benefited from Bloodbound. If you were doing Lizardmen, you benefited. If you're doing Wood Elves, you benefited. Oh, Map Tools. Oh, okay, it's a piece of software. Roll20 is a piece of software, and Map Tools is another option. Okay, that's cool. Nice to get some ideas, but I'm sure if you want to like talk about, like, I'm sure the TTS guys like Monkey have their own. Oh, it's a website. Sorry, but like, we'll probably be using the same software that the TTS guys like Monkey or Carl and Fresh use. Actually, no, Carl and Fresh probably play it on, but we'll be using their stuff because that's what we know. So it's half the fun to roll it for yourself and do the paperwork because, well, that's half the fun of the tabletop. Yeah, fair enough. We'll bear that in mind going forward. I'm sure one day we'll come back at this stream, and if we're doing it, and I'll try and remember that I talked about this with you guys, and we shall see. So, it is now 6:45. Is it crazy that the Eldar are now alive with the Dark Eldar? No, it's happened before. The Harlequins act as mediators semi-regularly. It's not that stupid at all. It's actually kind of, it's not commonplace, but it has happened before. So yeah, I'm coming up on 2 hours. Take away 7 minutes for me not realising the stream was private, which is probably going to end up in the VOD, and I'm going to look like an idiot. Yeah, all the same species, exactly. So yeah, last 10 minutes or so, content ideas, go. Basically. Obviously I know about the content suggestion box and stuff that we've got, but sometimes it's good to just get them live on the stream and get people's opinions live, so go for it. You fought an Iron Hands Dreadnought spam list? No, I haven't. It's not for all intensive purposes, it's for all intents and purposes. And they're all dying altogether and such. What videos do I have coming up? Shh, spoilers. It's White Scars tomorrow. It will be White Scars tomorrow, but other than that, shh, I like to play a little game with the chat, with the comments and like where we're going next. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm afraid. Clan Royal Khan. Yeah, I've been asked to do Clan Royal Khan before, so I'll be doing them probably before the Emperor's Children. Black Shields. I could talk about Black Shields. I haven't actually touched on any of them during the Legion series yet, so I might have a chance to look at Black Shields if I'm looking for something to do. Maybe before the Alpha Legion. Maybe. Not answering that because that's a joke for Remlays, not me, and I don't find it that funny. People like white scars. Cool. You get that tomorrow. Enjoy. Might actually hold this VOD to go out after the episode comes out, because otherwise, massive spoiler alert. Nah, I'll just put it out tonight. It's fine. 30k organization and unit types. So basically how a legion was put together. I might do that after the Legion series. Like, go through how a legion was built and all that. But they were so varied that it's really hard to know. Can't think of anything? That's fine. If people have ideas, then they're welcome to suggest them, but I'm not going to say, everybody give me ideas now, because, that's kind of hard to do if people are a little bit out of ideas. Okay, I'll remind me when we get to the end of the Legion series, which is going to be in, 5 months? It's going to, doing one every 2 weeks, and I'm just on to part 6. Yeah, I'm just on to part 6. I've got 24 weeks. More, that's about 6 months. How do I think Gilliman will be used after the 3rd book? It depends what they decide to do with him. If they decide to kill Abaddon off, that he could easily go and become Lord Commander of the Imperium again, and try and redo it all. I honestly don't know. I just want to see how it's all panned out. Emperor's Children, I'm doing the Emperor's Children for the Legion series, of course I am. I'm covering all 18 Legions. The Emperor's Children, I think... When are the Emperor's Children? I think they're about 6 weeks away. No, not 6 weeks. Not 6 weeks. That's not sure. But the Emperor's Children are on the list. The Cursed Founding. Ooh, I might look at the Cursed Founding. That's an interesting idea. Will they kill him for good? They might do, but considering they've literally just brought his model back, I don't think they're going to kill him off. An in-depth look at Dreadnoughts, how Dreadnoughts work and stuff. Might do, actually. That could be fun. Talk about the different types of Dreadnought that we get, like Librarian Dreadnoughts, and Hellbrutes and stuff. The strongest entity in all of 40k. Depends on who you ask. Some would say the Chaos God, some would say the Emperor, some would say Gork and Mork. Don't really know. Oh, somebody likes the Emperor's Children. I don't. It's not the Cured Founding, it's a typo, it's the Cursed Founding. The Blood Ravens. I may do the Blood Ravens, but I think I might have to wait on the Blood Ravens until Dawn of War 3, because I think they're going to sort of reveal a lot of stuff about the Blood Ravens in Dawn of War 3. I think they're apparently going to get their origins revealed in Dawn of War 3, and if they're not Thousand Sons, then Remlace will flip a table. So I think we'll have to wait on that one. But I might do the Blood Ravens at some point, maybe just before the Thousand Sons. Yeah, that's a shout. If Dawn of War 3 is out in time, and the information for the Blood Ravens is clear enough, and we can see who they're from, and I get enough information, then maybe. How a Space Marine is made. Oh god, that's a complicated video. A biology video. Corn. I've done a video on the Chaos Gods before, on the Warp. The Minotaurs. Ooh, I could do the Minotaurs. Right, I need to do this thing again. I haven't done this in a damn long time. A stream content ideas list. Oh god. Stream content ideas. Here we go. Right, so Minotaurs. Black Shields. Nope. Oh wait. Making a Space Marine. Space Marine. Dreadnoughts. Clan Rokan was mentioned. Blood Ravens were mentioned. Oh heck. Sons of Medusa. I've done the Iron Hands quite recently, and because I'm doing Clan Rokan, then I don't think I will be doing them, but maybe. Oh, fair enough, someone's going to go. Fair enough. Goodbye. I'm not going to be here for much longer. Could Magnus have defeated Russ in a close combat fight? No, we lost quite horribly. In a long range... Basically, how far apart do they start? The further apart they start, the better Magnus's odds get. Maybe a video about the different flaws in the genes, like the Calyx Helix and the Black Rage and stuff. Sorry, the Red Thirst. Maybe. If there's enough stuff that we know about, maybe. I might actually put that in the biology video. Talking about that. Gene seed flaws. Okay, I'll put that there. Are there loyalist Space Marines from the CSM chapters today, or have all of them fallen? As in, are there any like loyalist world eaters, word bearers, and stuff left? Is that what you mean? It's not that it's too big a topic. It's actually just finding enough stuff to make a full video on it is a bit of interest. I might put that in the biology video. I just take up a paragraph. So yeah, I'll try that because that's Kieran's suggestion. Kieran will get mad at me if I don't do what I ask, what he says. Are there any loyalists left? If any of the Knights Errant is still alive in any capacity, then yes. Like Felzerost, no, not Felzerost, like a Garrow or a Mesa Varan. Yes, some say the Calcaradins are loyalist Night Lords, but they'll all be dead by this point, the original ones. Harker versus the Biotitan. The Biotitan wins. Harker's good, but he's not that good. There are supposedly loyalist Space Marines who are descended from the Traitor Legions, like the Carcharodons, and some say the Blood Ravens, with the Thousand Suns, even if that's not actually canon, but maybe. Maybe something about Emperor Sinister Titan. I need to do the Titanicus, actually. Yeah, you're right. I do need to do the Titanicus. Titans. And I saw the Death Watch there. I'm not probably going to do the Death Watch, because I've done a video on the Inquisition, and I mentioned the Death Watch there. I'll put it with a question mark. Tell you what I'll do, I'll put it with a question mark. Death Watch with a question mark. You know, for an impromptu stream, this has gone pretty well. I'll be honest, this has gone pretty well for an impromptu stream. Titan Legion Organizer. I'm talking about Titans in general. Renegade Guard regiments. Scions. Oh, the Military Tempestus. Might do. Another one on Death Watch. Fine. I might touch upon some of the Guard regiments. Like, I'm gonna do the Death Corps of Krieg for absolutely sure. I'm doing Krieg, but I don't know about Renegade regiments and Scions and stuff. Celestial Lions. They were a Imperial Fist successor chapter that died on Armageddon, right? The Illuminati and the Sons of the Emperor, I leave that to Remlays. That's a theory thing. That's more of a theoretical thing. I left that to Remlays because he's done that quite recently. Will the Celestial Lions come back to strength if they're not dead and they're not told to integrate with another chapter? Yes, they will eventually. Maybe not in the canon time, not within any timeline that we know, but yes. We've averaged 4 minutes. I thought it was going to be more than that. What do I know? Bum, bum, bum. Not died, just beaten to within single digits. Oh, right. Well, if they're not told to join up with another chapter, like just integrate into the Black Templars or the Imperial Fists or whatever, then maybe. But if they're allowed to stay as a chapter, then they'll be allowed to rebuild slowly. I said one Biotitan could beat Sergeant Harker, then of course 10 will. Yeah. I think that's gonna be. I think that's about it. Is this? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Soul Drinkers. The Soul Drinkers. I should probably talk about the Soul Drinkers. Orcs. Yeah, I've done two videos on Orcs quite recently. Oh, somebody's leaving. Okay, goodbye. Good talking to you. It's been fun. Yeah, I've done 2 videos on Orcs. I may go back and do a third one, but I've done the clans, I've done the Cult of Speed, I've done Gazkul twice. I've done a bunch of characters in those videos. The Lamenters. I talked about the Badab War, and that mentioned the Lamenters, and I'll probably be touching on them again when I get to the Blood Angels, maybe. But maybe. The Thunder Warriors, I'll put that with a question mark. You see, this is why I love streams, because streams just give me 1,000 ideas. Minor Races Overview. Might do. Why GW hates the colour yellow. Minor Races Overview. Like, I'm doing... I'm looking at the Tower Auxiliary. I'm planning to do the Tower Auxiliaries at some point, so I'm going to cover a bunch of them there. But I'm not sure about that one. The differences of the Eldar Craft Worlds. There are differences. I might do that, actually, the Eldar Craft Worlds. See? Streams, man. Content ideas for days. Oh, someone correcting to English instead of American English. Yay. See, we're having an argument about that on the podcast, weren't we? Talking about like aluminum and Nokia. Like, what the flip is that all about? Oy. Somebody is proud of someone for using correct English. A video on abhumans. Ogres and ratlings are abhumans, being technical. Yeah, that's a name I don't recognise. I might do an abhumans thing. We'll see. Abhumans, I'll put that with a question mark, because I don't know how many abhuman species are well documented, aside from the ogres and ratlings. Well, there's obviously a few like beastmen and stuff. An in-depth look at power armor. Oh, oh god, I'll add that in making a space marine. Power armor. Yeah, that video has to happen now. Great, that's going to take an age. The enslavers, I don't think there's enough detail on the enslavers to make that work, I'm afraid. Right, it is 3 minutes to 7, so I am going to wrap the stream up, I think. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock, so I'm going to stop here and do some wave optics. Oh, perhaps just I think maybe something on physics and how 40k breaks. I tried doing a science video before. It's extremely hard to do. I really struggle doing it because like science is hard and 40k science is even more hard. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the stream up here. If you want to keep talking, then feel free to keep doing so in the chat, but the stream itself is going to be coming to a close in due course. Thank you all for coming out. I know it was completely impromptu. Basically, I just wanted to check if the technology was working again. And turned out it was my fault, because I'm a cocking idiot. I make myself sad sometimes. So yes, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for all the ideas, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Seems like people did, based on what's said in the chat. People watching in post, then feel free to leave your ideas in the comments, and I will try and announce the next stream. Then I've realised why I completely cacked it up. Yes, keep up the great work for the greater good. Absolutely, for the greater good. Well, for the greater good if you're the Farsight Enclave. If the Maytao Empire, then screw you with Ariels. Thank you, everybody. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been Michael for Tatsuko Imperialis. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.